This episode of the Nerd Corporation contains spoilers and explicit language. Listener discretion is advised.
Prepare for trouble
and make it double.
to protect the world from devastation.
To unite all nerds within the corporation.
To discuss the fandoms that you all love.
To extend our reach to the stars above.
Eddie,
Doc,
Nerd Corporation blast off at the speed of light.
Surrender now or prepare to fight.
Meow! That's right!
Welcome to the Nerd Corporation.
What's up, everybody? It's Monday, and you know what that means.
Podcast Day.
It's Podcast Day, and welcome to episode 6, Poke Nerds.
We choose you.
This episode will be about Pokemon.
I feel like this episode had to be done.
Yeah.
This is one of those fandoms that everybody at one point in their life was really into this one. Even if you hated it.
Yeah. I mean, you knew what Pokemon was.
Yeah, there's not a soul on the planet that doesn't know.
You guys over there playing the Pokemon cards?
Look at you sitting there playing with your stupid Pikachu.
Yeah.
I've been playing with my Pikachu since before Pokemon.
Right? I was like 13 playing with my Pikachu.
Lightning attacks everywhere.
Thunder shock all over.
Oh, God. So this episode's going to be a week late. We somehow or another, due to the Nerd Queen Supreme, got tickets to go see Avengers on Thursday night. So we're going to be posting a spoiler-filled review on Monday, which will be the previous Monday when you hear this episode. So go listen to that, unless you don't want to know what happens in Avengers. I feel like that's going to be our lowest listened to podcast, because everybody's going to be like, I don't want to hear it. I don't even care. Unless
the people who listened or who watched the movie or whatever.
I will have watched it, and so I'll listen to it. I'll listen to it enough for the corporation.
Just keep pushing play.
Yeah, really stoked for that. I really want to know who the fuck's going to die. Rumor has it that Loki's going to die right out the gate.
Yeah, because we read that there was a superhero that's just going to die, like, right at the beginning of the movie.
Right at the beginning of the movie. And it makes sense that it would be Loki, due to the fact that at the end of Thor Ragnarok, him and Thor and the Hulk ran into Thanos.
There's also speculation about Captain America, Black Widow, and War Machine all dying at the same time, right?
Yeah, but I feel bad, like, as I was reading that spoiler-filled thing on 4chan, that there was way too many deaths. Like, I don't see Thor and Captain America and Black Widow and War Machine and Loki and Drax and Gamora all dying.
True, but I mean, there is, like, the reality stone, and they could all be brought back to life or whatever.
Yeah, but I'm going to go ahead and not invest so much into that speculation until we know otherwise.
Cool.
So, should we get into the news about the secret life of Allison Mack?
What in the world? Allison Mack is a pimp. Like, literally.
P-E-E-I-M-P. Pimp. If you don't know, Allison Mack was Chloe Sullivan on Smallville. She was that girl next door crush that we all had. We were like, dude, what's your problem, Superman? You should be fucking your homegirl, Chloe. Right? Her name is Chloe. Bitches named Chloe are freaks.
All that I've known, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, if you're named Chloe, we know you.
We know who you are.
We know what you do in your secret time. So, yeah, she was caught in connection with a sex trafficking cult.
It was run by Keith Rainier. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Mack and Rainier were charged with sex trafficking conspiracy, and forced labor conspiracy. And the United States Attorney, Richard P. Donahue, had this to say.
As alleged in the indictment, Allison Mack recruited women to join what was purported to be a female mentorship group that was, in fact, created and led by Keith Rainier. Donahue continued to say the victims were then exploited both sexually and for their labor to the defendant's benefit.
While the arrests of Rainier and Mack took place on Friday, the group has reportedly been active for nearly 2 decades under the company name of Nexium, spelled NXIVM. Mac helped recruit more female slaves who thought they were joining a women's only organization that would empower them and eradicate purported weaknesses that the Nexium curriculum taught were common in women.
Those weaknesses being directly located next to their uterus.
So I think Alice and Mac's going to be gone for a while.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I was shocked as fuck. Apparently, like, her and Kristen Krug were fucking crazy getting down in that shit. There is a video out there, and mind you, we at the Nerd Corporation are pro consent.
So we don't agree with any of these little sex trafficking things that are going on.
Don't go join sex clubs unless it's completely voluntary. Don't let people fool you. If they're trying to be super friendly and want you to hang out with their 20-year-older friend Keith, don't.
So good luck to you, Alice and Mac. You're gonna need it.
Also, when you get out, please call Eddie Lion.
I had such a crush on her on Smallville. I was just like, oh my god, smile again, please. She just had that cute smile. It was just beautiful.
Somebody save me.
Alice and Mac's going to jail, so...
That's just real. She ain't got Superman now, do you, bitch?
Tom Welling's not coming to get you out of this one. Oh, God.
Oh, so good. Moving on, we had God of War came out this week on 4/20.
Oh, my
what
God.
a day to release an awesome video game like that. Like, you know what? You smoke some weed, have a cool video game to just... Don't go out into the world on 4/20. Stay home.
Right? There had to have been so much less human traffic. Not in the Chloe Sullivan kind, but like...
Yeah.
In the... Just out in the world. But what did you think, Doc?
I fucking love this game. I have been playing it since the 20th. And I'm enamored with this game. Like, it's so amazing.
It is one of the craziest games. It's so cool. And I mean, I come from... You haven't played God of War before.
I have never... I played Chains of Olympus on the PSP, and that was it.
And I've been an avid God of War fan since its inception.
I've been broke most of my life, so I could never afford a PlayStation until I got a job. And so I never played any of that shit.
I lived in the time of rentals.
Yeah, no.
So, I was able to rent all of the games, back when there was like a Hollywood Video and a Blockbuster.
Way before Redbox.
Way before Redbox.
Otherwise, you would have had racked up so many, like, fees.
Oh, dude, no.
These games, from what I understand, are extremely long.
Yeah. And it's crazy to have from the top down view now to like the over the shoulder view. I don't know. I guess I immerse myself a little more as Kratos in that view. It's so cool. The one thing that I love about God of War games is that they never lack color.
What do you mean? Like blood? Like, we talking like wrestling color?
No, we're talking like world out there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I will say that there's a point in the game where you spoiler alert, you meet this witch, and when you like go into her little grove, the fucking scenery is gorgeous. Like, I literally had to stop and take a screenshot. When the turtle comes up out of the ground.
Oh, yeah.
And you're carrying the boar. I took a screenshot of that whole fucking thing, and I was like, that's my new favorite picture right there.
It's amazing. The attention to detail. The combat is way awesome. I miss the chains.
I was going to say, and I've spoke with a friend of ours, Russell Rock, about this because he was huge on God of War as well. And I'm like, do you prefer the Chains of Chaos or are you with this axe? And he was like, I prefer the Chains of Chaos.
I do prefer the Chains of Chaos. I'm digging the axe, though. Like, I'm not saying that the axe is bad or anything. I love the axe, but the Chains of Chaos are like this staple.
I feel like the axe, though, kind of forces you to get in and fight. Like, the Chains of Chaos, you could attack from a distance, and you didn't really have to, like, get in close.
Yeah, but, and I think that's why they did that, just to have more close quarters combat. Because if you've got chains and you're on a over the shoulder third person view, like, it's really it wouldn't be as immersive.
Clunky.
Yeah, it'd be clunky. You'd have a bunch of like distance, shots and stuff. So I think it's appropriate. Not to mention the fact that this is all Norse mythology. So an axe is more appropriate for the setting, I would assume.
I honestly, I love the game. I give it a 10 out of 10. go play that shit. Lose your fucking life into it, because it's a whole other fucking beast.
Yep.
Also this week, we had Westworld premiered last night.
Yes, Westworld premiered last night, and I love that show. That show is amazing. I loved all of the first season. The first episode of this season just started off with a bang, and I love that.
Yeah, I think they're continuing the pacing of the first season. The first season being really cryptic and kind of just drawing you in and wanting you to watch more and more and more. And I already want the rest of this season out, like, now.
And it's crazy, like, contrary to the first season, I'm really rooting for Ed Harris this time.
I was actually rooting for Ed Harris in the first season.
Were you?
Yeah, I like the concept of the Man in Black out on his own personal Pokemon hunt.
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah. So I loved it. Without giving too much away, granted we are a spoiler-filled podcast, but this just came out last night. And granted, it'll be about a week or two before you hear this review. But by that time, hopefully all y'all motherfuckers have seen 2-3 episodes. And we're all on the same fucking page. I do like the Bernard angle, how he's confused with him being a host.
Yes.
And not a human. He kind of, like, it seems like he's rooting for the humans, but at the same time he knows that he's not one, and so he feels a little guilty.
Yeah, I'm feeling a Bernard heel turn here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then, the Dolores heel turn. What the fuck?
Oh my god. I thought she couldn't get any hotter, and then she did.
Yeah. I thought she wasn't fly until she got fly. No, I absolutely agree. The evil her is definitely an interesting turn. There was a scene, you had to run outside last night, but there's a scene with her and her beau. Can't remember the dude's name. It's the cowboy dude that she's obsessed with.
Mm-hmm.
Where
Cyclops.
Yeah, Cyclops. Thank you. Where he's kind of like, like, what are we doing? Why is this a thing? And she, like, basically lays it on the line for him. She's like, baby, just, and she kisses him. And it's basically, she uses her feminine wiles to just be like, shut up and kill things for me.
Your devil vagina magic.
God,
Dolores.
I'm telling you, dude.
And she's not even a human, and she has devil vagina.
Oh, my God. And then there was the teaser that parts of other parks are bleeding in with them finding a Bengal tiger on a riverbank.
Ooh.
And they're like, oh, this is one of the first anomalies that, we picked up. Why is there a Bengal tiger in the Wild West?
That's cool. And I was wondering how they were going to bleed in the 3 other worlds.
There's more than that, because that's park number 6 that the tiger came from.
Oh.
Yeah, so fly on that.
Yeah.
Definitely excited to see them bring in Samurai World. All of the worlds, actually. I was reading up a little bit on it. There's like a future world and all this shit.
I saw the 70s movie, much to my chagrin.
We did both, remember?
Yeah, we did.
You made me watch that before we even watched the TV series.
It's true.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad, even for 70s standards.
And this is actually the reason why we started a podcast, because we're that guy. Oh, before we can even watch fucking the new one, we have to find out where the backstory came from. So let's go watch the 1970 Michael Crichton film.
Yeah, and it was the same way with Death Note. I noticed that the Death Note live-action movie was coming, and so I watched all of Death Note.
I didn't mind the Death Note live-action movie.
I didn't either. Like, I saw all of Death Note right before the movie came out, and I was just like, this isn't bad.
Because I had not read or seen any of the Death Note stuff beforehand, and so when I watched it, I went into a totally blank slate. And I was okay with it. I thought it was a good concept, and I love Willem Dafoe.
Right? As Ryuk?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I was absolutely down for that. A lot of nerds are going to hate on me for this, because I know a lot of you anime-loving motherfuckers out there like, oh my god, I just loved it so much, or I hated it. I can't even believe you would like it, Dr. Nick. And to that, I say, fuck you, I have opinions.
That's why we have a podcast and you don't.
That's why you're listening to me tell you that I thought it was okay.
I thought it was good. I really did. I dug Willem Dafoe as Ryuk. I didn't dig who they got to cast L. I think that could have been casted a little better. Mm-hmm. And Light, I think it's the whole whitewashing of it all that people don't like.
Yeah, I could see that. But at the same time, what are you gonna do? You can't argue with everything. You're not going to have a full Japanese cast hanging out in Seattle.
Right.
So, yeah, well, whatever.
Continuing on with nerd news, Action Comics 1000.
Brian Michael Bendis gave us our first taste of his Superman.
And I like it.
He's got his underwear back.
Yeah, he's got his chonies back.
He pulled up his big boy panties and now he's fighting some fucking asshole.
Rogol Zar. Now, the thing that I liked about this is that they retconned the Superman origin story.
You know, if you know Superman, you know that Krypton was destroyed by a series of scientific mishaps that ended up backfiring and blowing up the planet of Krypton. And that's all well and good, but now we find out that this Zar guy is the one that did it. So, yeah.
Right.
What did you think?
I thought it was great. It brings a new air to Superman. Mm-hmm. And the thing about Rogol Zar is when he's fighting Superman, he tells him, like, he's like, I'm going to destroy every last Kryptonian just like I promised your father.
Yeah.
Like,
you know, you're paraphrasing, but yeah.
Right, yeah, I'm paraphrasing. But can you imagine if Jor-El, and Rogol Zar were in cahoots together to destroy Krypton?
I don't know, man. We'll see how that goes. I will tell you this about Action Comics 1000. It let me know why I hate Superman so much.
All the other stories
leading up to it, yeah. Like, I'm reading the very first fucking story. At the end of it, I was like, well, I'm done reading this. I don't even give two shits anymore. Because, I mean, it's the epitome of what I don't like about it's just so wholesome. Yeah. He's just such a wholesome superhero. I just... no, none of this. And then you get to the Brian Michael Bendis part, and I'm like, okay... yeah, I'm okay with this. But it's almost like they gave you all of these past Superman stories where he's a pitch, which is a pussy and a bitch, combined. So that's what he was, a bunk pitch in those first 6 or 7 stories. You don't even get the Brian Michael Bendis story till like page 80.
Yeah, it's like the very last story.
And then it ends on like the worst cliffhanger. Rogol Zar stabs Superman in the chest and then everything just goes black. And they're like, no, continued in Man of Steel by Brian Michael Bendis. I'm like, cool, I guess in 2 months when that comes out, I'll finally get to find out what the fuck happened.
Right?
Thanks, Brian Michael Bendis. Also, go listen to episode number 1 on The Man Without Fear. Brian Michael Bendis, shameless self-promotion, Nerd Corporation. What's up, bitch?
Question of the week.
What would your real-life starter Pokemon be out of Generations 1, 2, and 3? We could have gone through all 7, but... a lot of you motherfuckers, like my old ass, only got up to about Generation 3 before you started to get into things like vagina.
Right. So, Zachary Berry tells us that Bulbasaur, Cyndaquil, and Torchic all day. Sable is king, though.
Sableye. Yeah, Sableye. I had this conversation with him, and he was just like, Sableye. I'm like, you can't pick Sableye, bro. It's not how that works. And he's like, but Sableye's the fucking man. And I'm like, and I get that, but you have to pick from fucking starter Pokemon. You can't look at Professor Oak and be like, don't you got a Sableye?
You got Charizard laying around over here, bro?
I'm just, all I wanted was a Ghastly, and you didn't fucking have one. So, yes. Bulbasaur, Cyndaquil, Torchic, not bad choices. Justin Peterson of Logan says Squirtle. Turtles eat plants, so how susceptible to plant attacks can he be? It's science, really. That may be, but... they needed something. So, you didn't make billions and billions of dollars off Pokemon. So, that's why you're not that guy.
Nicholas Everill said Bulbasaur, Trico, and Rowlet. Green. Grass all day since 1996. But since I can't have Rowlet, I'll have Totodile.
See? That's logic right there. Not, nature, science, snarky motherfucker.
We love you, Weird Sense.
Yeah, we do. I'm only talking shit on Justin Peterson because I actually know the guy, and I don't even know if he listens to our podcast. But I guess we'll find out if I bitch him out. Huh, bitch? And he calls me up and says, what the fuck? Janessa Lunek, I hope I'm saying that right because I've always been curious. Luna K is what we're going to say. Janessa Luna K. I would want a Charmander or a Magikarp because they become Charizard and Gyarados, which are my favorites. But I also love Squirtle and Bulbasaur. It's a very difficult question. Yeah, it is. I don't think I could pick just one, so I would just be a Pokemon master and catch them all. To which I say, catch them all. That's absurd.
Right. But again, She did say Magikarp, and Magikarp is not one of the starter Pokemon.
But then that's why I think she compensated with Squirtle and Bulbasaur.
Gotcha.
So essentially, she would just want all of the starter Pokemon. I just want all of them. Just give them to me.
Every single
Professor Oak, you bitch. Shout out to Professor Oak, by the way, providing Pokemon to motherfuckers since 1996. Thank you.
Hey.
So anyway, just a little fill-in on Pokemon. Cumulative sales of the game, including home console, including Hey You Pikachu for the 64, have reached more than 300 million copies. And as of March 2017, the franchise has grossed more than $55.15 billion. So the Pokemon trading card game, pronounced in Japanese for all of our Japanese people, Pokemon Card Game. I'm sorry. That's my ramen noodle voice. It's just a thing.
We love Dr. Nick's ramen noodle voice here at the Nerd Corporation.
Once again, pronounced Pokemon Kado. It's literally spelled that way. K-A-D-O, Kado Gemu is G-E-M-U. Kado Gemu! Abbreviated to PTCG or Pokemon TCG is Pokemon Tong and Crip Gang. It's a collectible card game based on the Pokemon video game series, published in October 96 by Media Factory in Japan. In the US, it was initially published by Wizards of the Coast, and we know Wizard for Magic the Gathering and other awesome card games, and they took over publishing in 2003.
The Pokemon animated series is split up into 6 chronologically sequential series in Japan. Split up by the version of the video game series, the anime takes inspiration from the original series, the Advanced Generation series, the Diamond and Pearl series, the Best Wishes series, the XY series, and the newest Sun and Moon series. In the international broadcast, these 6 series are split into 20 separate seasons.
That just shows you fucking longevity right there. And as we all know, like, Japanese motherfuckers get into their seasons. Like, I'm scared for our Dragon Ball episode, because that's like 800 episodes we're missing out on.
That's going to be like a 4-part episode.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely going to be at least 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure. That's going to be a double episode on Dragon Ball Z. So if you got pointers and want to lead us in the appropriate direction for Dragon Ball Z, feel free to write us. Let us know on social media at the Nerd Corp Podcast. So anyway, getting back to the topic at hand, these anime series are accompanied by spin-off programming consisting of Pokemon Chronicles, and the Pokemon Chronicles is, from what I understand, like something to be watched. Like it's kind of like an adult-rated type deal.
Oh.
Like it's a little more graphic. Like I feel like we should watch the Pokemon Chronicles because it's supposed to like continue throughout the stories, but then also give, like I said, kind of a little more edginess.
Okay.
So I recommend that. There's just a shit ton of Pokemon stuff out there. Everybody and their mom has been into this. I remember when I first got into Pokemon, it was around 97, 98. So I was like a year late. But even then, like I've been a nerd and a kid my whole fucking life, and I got a lot of shit from all of my peers.
Absolutely.
For being into Pokemon with my 6-year-old cousin Julian, who was also into Pokemon.
I was into Pokemon when I was a kid. My kids are into Pokemon. I'm sure their kids will be into Pokemon because Pokemon ain't going nowhere, bro.
Dude, I bought 2 Game Boys so that I could trade with myself.
Word! Me too!
Nice.
Because I was a loser and didn't have friends either.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I had my cousin, but, I mean, there's only so many Pokemon you can con out of a 6-year-old.
It's true.
So, I mean, that's, you know, I was like the Pokemon hustler of the neighborhood because I would also go buy the cards and then I would sell the shiny cards to all of the children in my neighborhood for their lunch money. Like, swear to God, dude, all my little brother's friends, dude, would come over and they'd be like, hey, do you got that Zapdos? And I was like, what you want? You want that Zapdos? I got that Moltres. We got some Articuno.
You were a Poke Hustler.
Dude. I swear to God, I made like $20 one day just selling fucking a $10 or a $5 pack of Pokemon cards.
That's word.
Tripled my profit, nigga. What? Yeah, so
The Pokemon Chronicles was a series of side stories featuring characters in the anime that are not its current cast of main characters. And the live action variety and Pokemon related news shows of the weekly Pokemon broadcasting stations Pokemon Sunday, Pokemon Smash, and Pokemon Get TV premiered in late 2013.
that's a lot of fucking Pokemon.
Dude, and if you think that's a lot of Pokemon, like, you should see this movie list that we have here.
Yeah, there's 21 Pokemon movies in the list spanning from 98 to 2018.
And we are going to list them now.
Pokemon the first movie, Mewtwo Strikes Back.
Pokemon the movie 2000, The Power of One.
Pokemon 3, the movie, Spell of Unknown.
Pokemon Forever, Celebi, Voice of the Forest.
Pokemon Heroes, Latios and Latias.
Pokemon Jirachi Wishmaker.
I'm going to cut back to that last one. I like the name Latias. That just... Yeah, that's right. That's what I thought about that. So the next one being Pokemon Destiny Deoxys.
Pokemon Lucario and the Mystery of Mew.
Pokemon Ranger and the Temple of the Sea.
Pokemon The Rise of the Darkrai.
Yes, Darkrai. Pokemon The Rise of Far Cry. That would be a good game if you mixed Far Cry and Pokemon.
Just killing Pokemon.
Just running around with a crossbow.
Killing other trainers.
So the next one would be Pokemon Giratina and the Sky Warrior.
Pokemon Arceus and the Jewel of Life.
Pokemon Zoroark, Master of Illusions.
Pokemon the movie Black Victini and Reshiram.
Pokemon the movie White, Victini and Zekrom.
Pokemon the movie Kyurem and the Sword of Justice.
Pokemon the movie Genesect and Legend Awakened. Holy fuck, we're still going.
We're still going. Pokemon the movie Diancie and the Cocoon of Destruction.
Pokemon the movie Hoopa and the Clash of Ages.
Pokemon the movie Volcanion and the Mechanical Marvel.
Pokemon the movie I Choose You. Well, that was an easy one.
Pokemon the movie Everyone's Story.
And then, you know, there's the live action Pokemon that's going to be coming out starring Ryan Reynolds, which is Detective Pikachu. I watched a thing because I'd never played Detective Pikachu, so I didn't know anything about that shit. And apparently in the game, Pikachu speaks, and he's like from the Bronx. Yeah, swear to God, dude. In the game, he just, hey, wait, let's go look at that clue over there. Like,
what?
Yeah, dude. Swear to fucking God. Like, if you...
I'm walking.
Yeah. Thunder Blast over there. You got one of them pizzas? I want my pizza cardboard thin. I like my pizza this way. Pikachu.
That's weird.
It's, yeah, dude.
And so, Ryan Reynolds is starring in the movie?
Ryan Reynolds is the voice of Pikachu.
That's crazy.
And so I'm wondering if he's gonna like channel the Bronx Pikachu, or if he's gonna.
I hope he Deadpools it.
Yeah. I kind of feel like that's just him though, and like he just is Deadpool,
right? Like
no matter what he does.
Yeah.
He's just So there are currently 7 generations of the Pokemon game franchise.
Yep.
Lot of fucking Pokemon games out there.
Yep. So Generation 1 started as a Game Boy game called Pocket Monsters Aka and Midori, Red and Green, on February 27th, 1996. It features the original 151, and when it got popular, an enhanced AO Blue version right, was released. AO was later reprogrammed as Pokemon Red and Blue for international release, which was on September 30th, 1998. The Aka and Midori versions were never released outside of Japan. With the release of the Game Boy Color, a future enhanced title, Pokemon Yellow Special Pikachu Edition, was released to showcase the color palette of the Game Boy Color. It takes place in the fictional Kanto region, which is inspired by the real Kanto region of Japan. The name wasn't used until Generation 2, though, for Kanto. Starters for this game were Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle, with the exception of Pikachu in the Yellow Edition.
Did you ever hear of like there being a Pokemon Black version?
Like, there's a black and white.
No, like a black copy of the first game.
Oh no!
Yeah, there was a rumor back in the day. Some kid was at like a swap meet or some shit or a garage sale, and found like it was just a little. You remember the little Game Boy cartridges? Mm-hmm. A little one of those that was black and it just said Pokemon on it. And like in the game, you started out with a ghost Pokemon as your starter.
What?
Yeah, and once you beat the game, essentially the ghost Pokemon kills you.
What?
And it erases like all your data. Like,
wow.
So I recommend that, if any of you find that shit, please let us know where you can get that shit, because
I would love to play that.
I would even like a bootlegged copy of that.
Right?
There are lots of rumors and also shit like that flow from Pokemon, because it's such a massive game. And back before the internet, everything was all hearsay.
True.
And that's where myths like the Pokemon Black, original Black copy came from. Because, your homeboy heard of a homeboy in another state, 3 provinces away.
Provinces.
Who, hey, what? We could be in Canada. People don't know that. Except for that it says that we're from Logan, Utah, and all of our podcast shit. But yeah, man, like, there was just so much prior to the internet as far as rumor mills go. 'Cause, all we had was Nintendo Power.
Right. Word.
Or Game Informer.
I completely forgot about Nintendo Power.
Dude, Nintendo Power was my jam back in the day. I literally mowed lawns just to get a subscription for a year.
That's amazing.
Yeah, dude, so that I would have all of the video game info and games that I couldn't afford. I would know where they were at.
That's crazy. So you've been a researching motherfucker since back in the
day.
Since Dickie D6. Pick up sticks.
Oh my god, dude, fucking. So Gen 2 began in 99 with the release of Pokemon Gold and Silver for Game Boy Color, and like Gen 1, an enhanced version, Pokemon Crystal, was released after. Gold and Silver added 100 new species, bringing the total to 251, and was set in Johto, inspired by Japan's Kansai region. Starters for the game were Chikorita, Cyndaquil, and Totodile.
I really dug the Gen 2 ones. Like, I don't know why Gen 2 for me was so edgy.
I thought Gen 2 was good because it added evolutions to Pokemon that I had always wanted evolutions for. Like, we got an evolution for Scyther. We got one for Onyx. And I just, honestly, I think Gold and Silver was probably my favorite. I just realized that we didn't answer our own question this week. What would your 3 starter Pokemon be out of the first 3 generations?
Out of the first 3 generations, my first starters would be Bulbasaur, because that was my dude. Like, every time I play Red and Blue, that was me, Bulbasaur. I have an affinity for grass Pokemon, so I'm with that. So out of Gen 1, I'd have Bulbasaur, and out of Gen 2, I'd have Cyndaquil, and out of Gen 3, I'd choose Mudkip.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Get that grass.
I have no balance. Mine is all fire Pokemon.
So what? Charmander, Cyndaquil, and Torchic.
Yeah, those would be my 3. I was always into the fire Pokemon though. I did, if I had to choose like a backup, like an honorable mention, Squirtle would probably be in there, because I just liked the idea of crossing a squirrel and a turtle and getting a Squirtle. For those that didn't know, that's what a fucking Squirtle is.
Yeah,
okay?
It's a squirrel turtle.
It's a squirrel fucking turtle. It's a turtle that eats nuts. So yeah, I would go fire. Always have gone fire. Every time I play a Pokemon game, my starter Pokemon is fire.
I'm playing Pokemon Sun and Moon right now, and I decided to veer off of my path, because I usually go. My starters are usually grass types, but I chose Litten, the fire Pokemon, this time because it was a cat. And so I'm like, Eddie Lion, cat, put the 2 together. And, we're both...
Oh, Eddie Lion, the kitty Pokemon.
And, we're both fire. You know what I mean? So...
Yeah, we are. I get that now. I see what you were doing. We're both fire. I was like, wait a minute. Oh.
Because I spit hot fire.
Yeah, I spit hot fire. So, apparently there's a lot of, like, getting back to the rumors thing... I didn't know that there was a rumor that there's a Mew beneath the truck in St. Anne's Harbor.
Huh.
I never, ever in a million years ever heard that. But apparently, according to this, sometimes a cigar is just a cigar. So, undoubtedly, the reason that the truck in St. Anne's Harbor exists is because it's just a fucking truck. And everybody and their mom thought that there was a Mew under there. I would like to know how that shit started. Especially because fucking Mew is an event exclusive. That you couldn't catch until Gen 3. So, how you got one in Pokemon? No, because I had one in Pokemon 1.
I don't remember that far.
I'm pretty sure that I caught a Mew eventually, because isn't there one in the fucking cave after you beat the, what do they call them, the Frightful Four or whatever the fuck?
The Frightful Four, that sounds like an 80s rap group.
No, I think that's actually a Marvel Comics reference, but no, the Elite. After you fight the Elite. That's what
the Elite Four.
Yeah. After you fight them, you get access to that cave, and Janessa will correct me on this one, because apparently she's a Gen 1 fanatic, so please feel free to hit us up and let us fucking know. Because I'm pretty sure that you can catch a Mew in that cave. Or is it Mewtwo? I don't fucking know.
One of them.
One of them.
Gen 3 began in 2002 with the release of Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire for the Game Boy Advance. This was also the year that Red and Blue were remade. The enhanced version of those titles was Pokemon Emerald. Ruby and Sapphire introduces 135 new species of Pokemon, totaling 386 Pokemon. Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald all take place in the Hoenn region, inspired by Japan's Kyushu region. Gen 3 caught heat for leaving out a few features that made previous gens great, such as the day and night system. It was also the first installment that encouraged the player to collect merely a selected assortment of the total number of Pokemon rather than every existing species. So you were only, I think it was like 202 out of the 386 that were catchable in Ruby and Sapphire version. The starters for this game are Trico, Torchic, and Mudkip.
And this was actually the last actual generation of Pokemon game that I played out the gate.
Yeah.
Like after that is when I kind of fizzled off in the world of Pokemon.
I agree.
But I've always loved to play Pokemon games. As a matter of fact, that's kind of like my standard for that type of game.
Mm-hmm.
And probably the reason why I never got into Monster Hunter until later on in life, because I had never played Monster Hunter, but in my mind it was just like Pokemon, but not.
Mm-hmm.
And so therefore I never, because I'm like a loyalist like that. I'm like, fuck you, you're just trying to be Pokemon. I ain't trying to do that shit.
Right.
So Gen 4 kicked off with the release of Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. In 2006 for the Nintendo DS, this generation added 107 new species to the total, about 493 Pokemon. Platinum was the enhanced version of Diamond and Pearl, with new gameplay concepts including restructured move classification system, online multiplayer trading and battling via Nintendo Wi-Fi, and the return and expansion of the second generation's day and night system. The expansion of the third generation's Pokemon contests into super contests, which was an awesome deal. Diamond and Pearl take place in Sinnoh, inspired by the Hokkaido region and part of Russia's Sakhalin region, or Sakhalin Island, rather. Starters for Gen 4 included Turtwig, Chimchar, and Piplup. I feel like they were reaching for names on that one. Chimchar.
Yeah. Turtwig, Chimchar, and Piplup. I think those names are kind of like they're just reaches now. It's just like what are we going to name these with?
We're 7 generations of Pokemon in. At some point, they're just going to run out of fucking names.
They're just going to reuse them in different ways.
And I feel like that's what Chimchar is. It's like almost like Torchic and Charmander. Chimchar,
the fire monkey Pokemon.
Why does it have to be a monkey too?
That's what it was. It was a monkey.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. Is why did it have to be a monkey named Chimchar? It sounds like a circus creature. It does.
It really does.
And now Chimchar, the fiery chimpanzee.
Gen 5 began September of 2010 with the release of Pokemon Black and White in Japan for the Nintendo DS. Black and White brought in 156 new species, totaling 649 Pokemon. This currently is the only time that the number of Pokemon introduced surpasses the number introduced in the first generation. We didn't see a North American release until March of 2011, and this version is set in the Unova region, inspired by New York City. This is also the first title that goes away from a Japanese style map. Gen 5 starters feature Snivy, Tepig, and Oshawott.
I'm assuming Tepig is a pig.
I can't
see how I figured that out. And Oshawott. Oshawott sounds like a 5-year-old saying ocelot. It's an Oshawott. It's an Oshawott.
I saw an Oshawott and it was so pretty.
That's when they start reaching, man. I'm telling you. Literally, they're listening to their children going, what should I name this Pokemon? And the kid's like, Oshawott. And then, there we go. So, Gen 6 was the simultaneous worldwide release of Pokemon X and Y for the 3DS in October of 2013. 72 new Pokemon were introduced to this generation, making it the fewest Pokemon in a single generation so far. Prior generation, the one before that being the 156, being the most above Generation 1. This brings the Pokédex up to a total of 721 Pokemon. So yes, of course, by this time they're reaching for names. The new Mega Evolution feature was added to the game to balance out the lack of new characters. Another addition was Fairy typing, the first new type since Dark and Steel in the second generation. In this generation, players explored the France-inspired Kalos region, and the starters for this game were Chespin, Fennekin, and Froakie.
Gen 7's release celebrates the 20th anniversary of the franchise with Pokemon Sun and Moon's worldwide release in November of 2016. A total of 81 new Pokemon were introduced, bringing the total to 802, Dr. Nick. Can you imagine?
That's a lot of fucking Pokemon.
You gotta catch a lot of fucking Pokemon.
Janessa, if you're trying to catch them all, as per you had said, good fucking luck.
There's almost 1,000 of them.
Yeah, that's a lot of goddamn monsters. Where are you even gonna, where are you gonna put 802 Pokeballs anyway?
In different boxes.
And are you an asshole? Do you keep your Pokemon in the Pokeball? What is inside the Pokeball?
Right, you gotta let them out at some point.
Is there a mini world in there?
Speaking of Pokeballs, now that I'm playing Sun and Moon, there's a thing called a luxury ball.
Uh-huh.
And it's I guess it's more spacious, and it's got shit in there for Pokemon, and then there's
So it's like a snow globe for Pokemon.
Pretty much.
Oh, okay.
And then there's there are heal balls, so if you give them status updates like paralysis and all that other shit.
So it cures them when you put them back in the ball, so they don't. Because you remember, that's one of those things that I actually hated about that shit. If you got poisoned in Pokemon and you continued to walk, your Pokemon were dying as you walked.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So okay, I can deal with that. I'm
ball.
good on that level.
Though no new Mega Evolutions were added, a new type of form was added for a specific Pokemon. Called Alola form, changing their types and movesets. A new type of move was added as well. It was called the Z move. Usable by any Pokemon, Z moves are extremely powerful and as such can only be used once per battle.
So it's like a summon, essentially.
Yeah, it's like a super move. Yeah, playing the game, you throw the Z move in there and everything goes crazy. It's so cool to see how Pokemon has evolved from Game Boy to the 3DS. It's so cool and all cool and fun.
It's one of Nintendo's longest running and biggest series under Mario.
Yep. So seeing them progress is pretty cool. Hawaii inspired Alola as the new region in this iteration of the franchise. Starters for the latest generation are Rowlet, Litten, and Poplio.
Yeah, still reaching for names. Poplio.
Yep. Rowlet is a grass owl.
Oh, I was thinking like a dog because I thought Growlet.
You're right. No, it is a because it's an owlet.
Yeah. Yes.
Litten is a fire cat.
Makes sense. What would be the L in? Because obviously, itten is kitten.
Litten because it lights stuff up. It's lit, yo.
It's lit. Are you? That's the
I
official.
I don't know. I don't know. No.
No, I'm saying from you. That's your official statement. It's lit as fuck, right?
Yeah, because it lights stuff up. It's lit.
I'll let it go. I'm okay with it being a lit kitten. Litten. Oh my god! I just came up with a new word. And Poplio is a penguin.
Poplio is a seal type Pokemon.
Oh, okay. I'm okay. They did have one of them. I believe one of them was a starter. There was a penguin. I think I saw somewhere. But hey, like I said, I got off shit at Gen 3. I was like, I'm off this train. I'm gonna go do something that isn't God of War, because that was around the time that was coming out, and I was wishing that I was playing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. On July 20th, 2016, Legendary Entertainment announced that they had acquired the rights to make a live-action Pokemon film, Detective Pikachu. We were discussing earlier that Detective Pikachu is from the Bronx. And I still... Ken Watanabe is in this film, too. I want to throw that out there. So they got a serious name attached to Deadpool.
Pika over here.
Do you think? Did you ever see that? There's like a fan art pic where someone put Pikachu in a Deadpool costume.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that helped them inspire to make this movie? I know it's based off a game, but do you think that the only reason they thought that, hey, maybe if we get Ryan Reynolds to be Pikachu now,
maybe,
and they were like, how do we do that? There was this one-off game that everybody hated, and we'll just go ahead and make Ryan Reynolds Pikachu.
in my heart of hearts, I believe that's what happened.
If they don't in this movie make like a fourth wall break, where he announces himself as Deadpool, I'll be disappointed.
I'm pretty sure you're going to be set up for disappointment.
Well, then I will fucking not see this movie. Detective Pikachu. I'm blasting over here.
Pikachu over here.
You like a Pika? I got the chew. Oh, that's good. Later that year, it was reported that Alex Hirsch and Nicole Perlman will be writing the script. Dean Israelite, Robert Rodriguez, and Tim Miller were being considered as director. Could you imagine a Robert Rodriguez Pikachu movie?
Oh my god.
Antonio Banderas would be in it. Danny Trejo would make a cameo. There would be like Pokemon in guitar cases.
Makuhita don't text.
Spanish. Yeah, and then, Tim Miller being the guy that did Deadpool. So, like, again, I feel at that point we would have got what I am looking for, i.e. Pikachu acknowledging that he's Deadpool or Ryan Reynolds in some sense. But it was announced that Toho will distribute the film in Japan and Universal will take it over outside of Japan. November 30th, 2016, Deadline revealed that Legendary Entertainment had chosen Rob Letterman to direct the film. Mm-hmm. And on top of that, the movie also stars a bunch of people that I don't know. Justice Smith, Catherine Newton. I do know Ken Watanabe and Ryan Reynolds, though, who will be the voice of Bronx Pikachu. Yeah. Filming began in London January of this year, and it's slated to be released in May of next year. So
that's exciting.
Are you really? Well, I mean, you got kids that are that age, though. You can pass that off.
I would have watched it if I didn't.
Of course you would have, because you watched Ghostbusters.
I love Ghostbusters.
Oh my god! And I'm not talking about the original Ghostbusters. I'm talking about the new Ghostbusters.
The female Ghostbusters.
Yeah, that one.
That was a good one.
It wasn't, dude. It was just no. Your mom. Anyway, though, on top of that, there was also a little game that came out in 2016 on July 6th. I don't know if you've heard of it. Pokemon Go.
That game changed lives forever.
I think that was the happiest day anyone ever had. Because I didn't know that they were going to release it so soon. Like, they announced it 2 or 3 months before it came out. And they were just like, coming sometime is going to be this awesome thing where you can just walk around everywhere you go and catch Pokemon. And I am a mark for this fucking game.
So am I, dude. Like, I'm still playing it. People are like, I didn't know people still did that. Well, we do.
Yeah.
The Nerd Corporation still plays Pokemon.
Goddamn right we do. And, there are some of us that are Valor and some that are Mystic and some awesome of us that are Instinct. The most awesome of us.
The most awesome of us being Mystic?
Your mom is Mystic. Is mystical. Your mom is mystical, Eddie Lion.
She is a creature of mysticism.
Yay!
No, that's what I meant. Your mom is mystical, like the actual fucking...
Oh, shake your ass! Watch yourself! Shake that ass!
Catch
all of the Pokemon!
I didn't mean magical and majestic. Mystical, I meant like mystical.
Like Mystical. Catch all of the Pokemon!
Its overall download numbers, as of earlier this year, is 750 million downloads.
Jesus.
And some of those people pay money in this game to get like Pokeballs and shit like that. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't personally. If I ain't got Pokeballs, I find time to go my ass to a Pokestop and sit there for 2 hours and just spin the dial.
Right.
But otherwise, no.
Nope.
I'm not spending money on Pokemon. Pokemon Go.
I just did a little spin motion with my hand like everybody could see it.
Yeah, I was wondering what that was. I was like, are you trying to cut me? Like, no. I'm looking at the time over here. I was like, okay. I didn't realize we were reaching the end of our time here, wink.
We weren't. I just made the spin motion like I'm spinning a Pokestop, and I just realized that nobody can see me.
And Dr. Nick didn't get the reference. I was like, yeah, okay. What the fuck ever, bud. Recently, they released Gen 3 in. Mm-hmm. So we're all the way up through the first 3 generations right now. I think Gen 4 is when we get our first next evolution.
Oh.
With Leafeon being a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited for that. Like I said, I'm a mark for this game. I'm constantly out catching. I have 150 of the original. No, 149 of the original, 151. The other 2 being Mewtwo and Mew that I don't have.
I have 127 of the original 151.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I spoofed out at the beginning of this game so that I could catch, because my OCD wouldn't let me not have the other 3 that I couldn't have.
Cheater.
And I'm a broke dick motherfucker. Don't even front like your ass is gonna go to London just to get a fucking Mr. Mime.
I'll go to London to get a Mr. Mime.
You're gonna pay specifically for the ticket to go to London just to get a Mr. Mime?
I have friends in London.
Your mom has friends in London.
Yeah, she does.
Damn it. All right. So beyond that, if you're not playing Pokemon Go, we're not friends. Damn it.
But we are friends because we want you to listen to us.
Eddie Lion,
Mm-hmm.
what would be your top Pokemon in the game, in Pokemon Go? What are your highest Pokemon that you have as far as CP goes?
I have a 2560 Rhydon, and right now that's like my top dude.
That's your jam, huh?
That's my dude right now. That's like the guy getting me through all my battles and stuff.
What's your next down?
I believe it is a Vaporeon.
Of course it is, because that motherfucker is uncommonly strong. Why is Vaporeon so, like, healthy? Like,
right. Vaporeon's like the Superman of Pokemon
I
Go.
don't understand it. I have a perfect one that's, like, all the way, like, up on its CP meter, and it's my strongest Pokemon, and I never use it because I'm just like, I'm not leaving you in a gym.
Right.
I'm not that guy. Oh, look at my Vaporeon. It's not as cool as my Dragonite that's next down, but, you know, it's stronger for some strange fucking reason.
Vaporeon's just OP as fuck.
We all
dude.
know that Dragonite's going to win that battle.
Right?
And then I think my next one down from that, so it goes Vaporeon, Dragonite, Gyarados for me, because I have like 4 Gyarados. One of them's a shiny Gyarados too, Eddie Lion.
One of them's a shiny Gyarados too, Eddie Lion.
I'm just saying, I put in the work. You should put in the work.
You put in the cheat work.
But I got nothing.
Cheating ass motherfucker.
I did at one point.
No, actually, I spoofed a little too, but like not to Dr. Nick's extent.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I got Pokemon from Kyoto, Japan, and from Paris, France. The Louvre is an awesome spot. If you can find a way to spoof, go hang out at the Louvre. Mind you, I don't advocate it now because I got like massive warnings from Niantic.
Now, every time you open Niantic's like,
we know what you're doing over there, Dr. Nick, and we don't approve. And so I don't fuck around.
Could you imagine if they just deleted your account and you had to start all over?
I wouldn't be mad because it would give me a reason. I would be like, now I have to play more. Thanks, Niantic. Because I'm not going to be that asshole. It's like, I can't believe that I cheated and they kicked me from the game. What the fuck is that shit, stupid Niantic? No, man, accept your consequences. If you're a spoofer, and I don't have a problem with people that do that. Some games I'm okay with cheating with. Now, if I'm playing Call of Duty and your ass has found some kind of glitch that gets you immortality, we're not friends, and that's not how that game is played, and you should not fuck around like that.
So fuck you.
But this game, to me, doesn't affect anybody else's shit other than the fact that I have strong-ass Pokemon to leave in gyms now. But if you got the time, you can take them out. I do that shit. Do you have any legendary Pokemon in that game?
I don't.
None?
None.
Eddie Lion, we have to go fucking catch you some legendaries.
I know.
There are like 3 gyms by your house, and there's no reason why we can't fucking go get you a legendary.
Right?
Pokemon.
I need one. I need one in my life.
No, if you do they have the missions in the game now. If you do a lot of the missions, and get them all the way filled up, there's like field missions they do every day. You can do 1 a day, and once you've done like all 6 or 7 of them, you get a Moltres.
I'm with it.
So I mean, there you go.
I need to do that.
Yeah, if you just all you gotta do is 6 missions, man.
I'm with it.
And I'm still waiting for the ticket, one of the bonus tickets to get Mewtwo. Ooh. Yeah, because you have to like go to a Sprint, I think, or a Starbucks, which is bullshit.
Really?
Yeah, and it's a random thing. So essentially, you just sit at Starbucks all day and fucking spin the thing. See, that's how you do it. You say, "I spin the thing."
Yeah, and do the
and
motion.
then do the hand motion.
Sorry.
So that the people in the room with you know that you're not just wafting a fart, and the people on the air know that you're spinning the thing. So that's coming up on the end of our Pokemon thing. I know that a lot of people want us to go in depth about their favorite stuff on it, on any of our topics, but we try and keep it down to an hour. And I think we covered a lot. I didn't know about the 7 generations of the Pokemon shit before this.
I didn't know there were more than so many movies, and there's a shit ton.
There were 802 Pokemon. So I learned a lot today, Nerd Corporation.
We hope you did too.
Absolutely. So moving on, we're going to go with the question of the week for next week's episode, which will be the Deadpool episode.
I know you're excited for that.
This is I'm the one that makes the schedule of episodes, and I put that one in there for a reason. Not just because Deadpool 2 is coming out. Go see that shit. Tickets were available April 19th. But I'm absolutely anticipating seeing it, and I think it's going to be a great shit. So the question of the week is, if you could have awesome healing powers, but it meant that you had to eternally deal with mental instability as well as constant dying and regenerating cancer, would you? Would you take that leap, Eddie Lyon? Would you want to deal with eternal cancer?
I don't know. I think I'd grow... I think with that, I'd have that sense of humor. You know what I mean? Like, like okay, I'm gonna be dying and regenerating every little bit, so might as well make fun of it.
I guess that makes sense. That the mental instability being derived from the constant dying cancer.
And I already use humor as a coping mechanism anyway, so...
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. If I found out I had cancer tomorrow, I would just be joking about it all the time. I joke about having cancer now, and I don't have cancer. So anyway, as always, you can find us at social media.
Facebook, The Nerd Corporation. Twitter and Instagram at NerdCorp Podcast. And email us at nerdcorppodcast@gmail.com.
And if you're looking to continue the journey into the Johto, Kanto, or Hoenn regions and catch all of the Pokemon, please join our Patreon at patreon.com/NerdCorp Podcast. Several tiers of loot to be had there.
From ringtones to giveaways to shout-outs and bonus episodes. We'd like to apologize to special guest Alan Tudyk for not being able to get you on this week. Hopefully you can come back another time and discuss being a leaf on the wind with us.
Firefly needs to be a show.
Hold on, let's do that one again. We'd like to apologize to our special guest Alan Tudyk for not being able to get you on this week. Hopefully you can come back and discuss being a leaf on the wind with us another time.
Definitely need to do a Firefly episode.
Oh yeah, Firefly needs to happen.
That's going to be a thing. So stay tuned for that, because someday it'll be a thing. Once again, for the Nerd Corporation,
I'm Eddie Lyon,
and I'm Dr. Nick.
Till next Monday, go catch them all.
Digimon.
We just did a whole fucking Pokemon episode, and you're gonna fucking say Digimon?
I'm telling you, they're the same fucking thing.
This is stupid. We go through this shit every single time.
Except you don't put them in a wall.